Let me ask you a question. Have you ever felt like you're doing everything right, but life is still slipping through your fingers? You're trying harder, working longer, planning every detail, but the more you try to hold it all together, the more it feels like everything is falling apart. Sound familiar? You're not alone, and you're not broken. In fact, you might be doing exactly what's not needed, because real power, it's not in forcing things. It's in learning when to let go. What if I told you that the key to getting what you truly want in life isn't about hustling harder or obsessing over every outcome? It's about stepping back, breathing, and allowing space for the life you've been chasing to finally reach you. In today's video, I'm going to reveal a truth that could change your entire approach to success and fulfillment. How to manifest what you truly desire without burning out in the process. No gimmicks, no wishful thinking, no magical affirmations. Just clear, practical principles rooted in ancient Stoic philosophy, the same timeless wisdom that helped warriors, emperors, and thinkers stay grounded through chaos. Today, you'll learn how to stop living in reaction to the world and start attracting the life that aligns with your deepest values. And trust me, it's not what you're expecting, but that's exactly why it works. Are you ready to unlock the power that's been waiting inside you all along? Before we dive in, I want you to walk in someone else's shoes for just a moment. Let me introduce you to Javier. He was the kind of person who seemed untouchable, an executive at the top of his game. His days were packed. Calls, meetings, high-stakes decisions. He was always on, always in control, or so it seemed. But then, life reminded him he wasn't a machine. In the middle of a high-pressure presentation, Javier's body did something unexpected. It quit. He froze, couldn't speak, couldn't move. A full-blown panic attack struck out of nowhere. And just like that, the man who always had the answers felt completely lost. Lying awake that night, shaken and exhausted, one question echoed in his mind. What am I even doing with my life? At the urging of a friend, he made a radical choice. He unplugged. No more emails, no phone calls, no meetings. He packed a bag, left the city behind, and went off-grid to a quiet cabin in the mountains. At first, the silence was deafening. His mind kept racing. What's happening at work? What will people think? But as the days passed, and he walked under tall trees with only the sound of the wind for company, something started to shift. One phrase came back to him from a book he once read. Accept whatever comes to you, even if it seems different from what you expected. Marcus Aurelius. That single line pierced through the noise in his head, and for the first time in years, Javier understood. He didn't need to control everything for life to work out. He could let go. When he returned to the city, he didn't jump back into the old chaos. Instead of filling every free second with meetings and deadlines, he did something revolutionary. He made space. Space to think. Space to rest. Space for his family. And for himself. And here's the surprising part. When he stopped obsessing over every little detail, nothing fell apart. In fact, everything got better. His team felt more empowered. The office atmosphere shifted. Even results improved. Why? Because when he became calmer and more intentional, everything around him followed. And now the question is, what would happen if you did the same? Because in the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through the exact Stoic lessons that helped Javier and countless others find peace without losing their ambition. Stay with me. This isn't just about philosophy. It's about creating a life that feels like yours. Let's begin. Javier's transformation wasn't just external, it was internal. His results at work skyrocketed, yes, but more importantly, for the first time in years, he felt at peace with himself. And now, I want to ask you something. How many times have you felt like Javier, carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders, pretending you're fine, while inside you're holding on so tightly that it's exhausting you? Maybe today is the day you say, enough, enough fighting, enough forcing. Maybe today is the day you let calm take the wheel and watch what happens when you stop trying to control everything. Are you ready to give it a real shot? Let's begin. Let go and relax. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine you're standing on a beach. The sun is warm on your face. You bend down, scoop up a handful of sand, and then squeeze it tight. What happens? At first, it feels like control. You're holding it. It's yours. But the tighter you grip, the faster the sand slips through your fingers. Isn't that just like life? The more we try to force things, to grip every outcome, the more it all seems to fall apart. And the result? You're stuck, burned out, frustrated, further from what you actually want. Sound familiar? Trying to control everything is like driving with the handbrake on. No matter how hard you press the gas, you won't go anywhere. You're not moving. You're just wearing yourself out. But what happens the moment you release the brake? Suddenly, things shift. You move forward smoothly, naturally, with far less effort. And that's what letting go really is. It's not giving up. It's not being passive. It's choosing to trust the process, to stop gripping life so hard that it can't breathe. Let me paint you a picture. You've planned a perfect family road trip. Every stop scheduled, meals picked out, entertainment packed for the kids. You even built in buffer time because you're that organized. But then, reality. Traffic is a nightmare. It starts pouring rain halfway there. And your kids, they choose that exact moment to erupt into full-on tantrums in the back seat. So what now? Do you lose your cool and snap at everyone? Do you spiral because life isn't following your script? Or do you pause, take a breath, and accept that not everything is meant to go perfectly? Because that, right there, is life. You can't control traffic. You can't control the rain. And you definitely can't control a toddler's emotional breakdown. But what you can control is your response. And that's exactly where Stoicism steps in. Marcus Aurelius, in his legendary Meditations, offered us this timeless reminder. Accept the things to which fate binds you and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart. He wasn't preaching surrender. He was teaching us how to release the handbrake, how to stop resisting what is. Because let's be honest, what's more important? That everything goes exactly as planned? Or that you actually enjoy the journey? Now, I know letting go sounds beautiful in theory, but in practice, it can be tough. That's why I want to give you 3 practical, simple tools you can start using today. Not only will they help you release control, they'll also help you feel more relaxed, more centered, and far more open to attracting the life you truly want. Write it and release it. Grab a pen and a piece of paper. Write down the thing that's stressing you out, the thing you're trying to control. No need to be poetic. Just say it plainly. I'm trying to control this, but I know I can't. Then crumple it up, throw it away, burn it if you want to, safely, of course. Why? Because it sends a powerful message to your mind. This no longer owns me. You've acknowledged it, and now you're letting it go. The red light pause. The next time something unexpected happens, whether it's a delay, a disagreement, or a disappointment, don't react right away. Instead, treat it like a red light. Stop. Take a deep breath. Inhale slowly to a count of 4. Hold it for a beat, then exhale gently to a count of 6. Feel the tension leave your shoulders. Feel your mind start to clear, because sometimes a single pause is all it takes to shift your entire perspective. So remember that red light pause isn't just a moment of calm, it's a powerful shift. Sometimes the only way forward is to stop, just for a moment, and breathe. Let's move on to the third practice. Make space for nothing. Yes, you heard that right. Nothing. No agenda, no productivity, just space. Even if it's just 10 to 15 minutes in your day, carve out time with no goal other than simply being. You might sit in silence. You might put on your favorite music and let it wash over you. You might just look out the window and watch the sky shift. And here's the beautiful part. It's in these still moments that your clearest thoughts rise to the surface. When the noise fades, clarity enters. We often think that the answer lies in doing more, but often it lies in doing less. When you stop trying to control every second, when you stop overscheduling your life down to the minute, you create room for peace, for insight, and for the kind of desires that don't scream, but whisper. That's when manifestation happens, not through hustle, but through alignment. And here's the most unexpected truth of all. When you finally learn to let go, life doesn't collapse. It begins to fall into place. Not perfectly, but naturally. Because this isn't magic, it's mental clarity. The kind that only comes when you stop pouring your energy into things you can't control. You take back your emotional bandwidth. You free your attention to focus on what actually matters. So let me ask you this. What if today you let go just a little, not everything, just one thing, one small moment where you stop clenching your fists and let the sand fall gently through your fingers? Let it flow. Let it be. Because that, my friend, is the beginning of real change. And it all starts with one choice, the choice to let go. Now that we've planted the seed of surrender, let's take it one step further. Start your day strong. Have you ever noticed how some days just flow? Everything clicks. You feel energized, focused, even lucky. While other days feel like you're dragging a boulder uphill from the moment you wake up. It's not fate. It's not chance. It's how you begin. Your morning is your mental foundation. It's like tuning a guitar before a concert. Miss that step, and nothing sounds right. But when you take even just a few moments to calibrate, to align your mind and your energy, everything afterward tends to follow in harmony. So, what does this look like in real life? Let me tell you a quick personal story. One morning, instead of reaching for my phone the second I opened my eyes like I usually do, I made a different choice. I just sat still. No scrolling, no email, just me, my breath, and a quiet question. How do I want this day to feel? After a few slow, intentional breaths, I turned on one of my favorite songs, the kind that instantly lifts your energy. Then as I brewed my coffee, I caught myself doing something unexpected. I started dancing in the kitchen. Yep, silly, A little, but liberating? Completely. And guess what? That whole day felt lighter. The things that normally irritate me, traffic, tech glitches, last-minute changes, barely registered. Why? Because I had already decided how I wanted to feel that day. I had taken the lead instead of letting the world lead me. And the Stoics knew this too. Seneca, one of the great minds of Stoic philosophy, believed that each day is a gift, a blank check from the universe. He began his mornings in deep reflection, writing, aligning his thoughts, preparing to meet the day on his terms, not the world's. He didn't wait for life to dictate how he felt. He created his mindset before stepping into the chaos. And so can you. Here's a simple practice to help. Before you even touch your phone, sit quietly for a moment. Take 3 deep, slow breaths. Inhale for a count of 4. Hold for 2 seconds, then exhale for 6. Repeat that 3 times. You'll be amazed at what just 60 seconds of intention can do. It's like handing your nervous system a soft reset button. And from there, your day can begin with power, not panic. So what makes your morning feel special? For me, it's music. Every single time. There's something magical about pressing play on that one song, the one that makes your heart beat faster, that lifts your mood before the world even wakes up. So why not give it a try? Pick a song that inspires you, something that makes you want to move, to smile, to breathe a little deeper. And yes, go ahead, dance, even if it feels a little silly. Whether you're dancing alone in the kitchen or swaying while brushing your teeth in front of the mirror, let your body move. You might even laugh at yourself. And you know what? That's exactly the point. Because in that laughter, in that moment of lightness, your whole mood can shift. That tiny burst of joy, it's like fuel for your spirit, and it can carry you through the rest of the day. Here's another small but powerful ritual. Before stepping out of the house, pause for just 30 seconds. Ask yourself, what's one thing I want to achieve today? Don't overcomplicate it. It doesn't have to be impressive. It might be as simple as enjoying your lunch without distractions, or keeping your patience in line at the grocery store, or just remembering to smile at someone. These tiny intentions aren't trivial. They're anchors. They give your day a sense of purpose. And when done with presence, they become the first quiet steps toward attracting what you truly desire. So now I ask you, honestly, how do you want your mornings to feel from now on? Do you want to wake up to chaos, rushing from task to task while the day pulls you along like a current? Or do you want to create your moment? Do you want to start each day on your terms with calm, clarity, and control? Because here's the truth. You don't need to wake up at 5 a.m. You don't need a flawless morning routine with 10 steps and cold showers. You just need to begin with intention. Start strong, start simple, start present. Each morning is a clean slate, and how you choose to fill it, that's the beginning of everything you've been wanting. Before we move on, if this message is resonating with you, if it's reminding you of your power, consider subscribing to the channel and becoming an exclusive member. You'll gain access to tools and content designed to support your journey every single day. And tell us in the comments, what small step are you ready to take to relax, to let go, and to finally manifest what truly matters to you? We read every comment, and we want to grow with you, because this isn't just a video, it's a shared journey. Your mind, your greatest ally. Now let's shift focus to where it all begins. Your mind. Think of your mind like a giant puzzle. When the pieces are scattered all over the table, disconnected, messy, unorganized, it's hard to make sense of anything. You look down and all you see is chaos. But when you take a breath and start grouping the pieces by color, by shape, by the edges, something incredible starts to happen. The image becomes clear. Piece by piece, the picture reveals itself. That's exactly how your mind works. When it's overwhelmed, cluttered with racing thoughts, fears, and unchecked stress, it's nearly impossible to see what's really going on. But when you pause, breathe, and give it space, clarity begins to surface. Everything starts to make sense again. Let me share a story that perfectly captures this power. A few years ago, a pilot named Chesley Sully Sullenberger, yes, that's Sully, found himself facing the unimaginable. He was flying a commercial jet with more than 150 lives on board when disaster struck. Both engines failed after a flock of birds collided with the plane. In seconds, they lost all power. Below them, a crowded city skyline. Ahead, only a frigid, fast-moving river. It was the kind of situation that would send almost anyone into panic mode. But Sully didn't panic. Instead, he did something most people wouldn't think to do. He closed his eyes for a brief second and took a deep, grounding breath. In that moment, he made a decision. There was no room for chaos in his mind. Only focus, only clarity. He visualized the outcome. He trusted his years of experience, the calm of his crew, and the quiet strength within himself. Did he know it would work? Number. But he believed in his ability to stay composed. He chose calm over chaos. And what he manifested was something remarkable. As alarms blared and passengers braced for the worst, Sully spoke 5 unforgettable words in a voice that was steady and unshaken. Brace for impact. It wasn't just a command. It was a declaration of clarity, of courage, of control in the middle of absolute uncertainty. What Sully manifested in that critical moment wasn't luck. It was presence. In the face of potential disaster, he gave everyone on board something they desperately needed but couldn't find on their own. Calm. He didn't control the birds. He couldn't reverse the engine failure. But he did control his mind. And because of that, he did something extraordinary. He landed a powerless plane safely on the Hudson River. Every single person survived. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "What disturbs us is not what happens, but our thoughts about it." Sully didn't let panic dictate his actions. He didn't let the noise of the moment cloud his judgment. He turned a moment of chaos into a moment of clarity, and lives were saved. And here's the lesson for us. When you calm your mind, the world doesn't change. You do. You stop drowning in problems and you start discovering solutions. So how do you train your mind to become your most powerful ally? You begin by organizing your inner world. Here's a simple practice you can try today. Take 5 minutes, that's it. Spend those 5 minutes sitting quietly and imagining all your current worries like scattered puzzle pieces on a table. But don't try to solve everything at once. That's where most of us go wrong. You wouldn't try to jam all the puzzle pieces together at random, would you? Instead, you sort. Let's say you're carrying 3 stressful things in your mind: a tight deadline at work, an unresolved argument with a close friend, concerns about your monthly budget. Here's what you do. Visualize each of those as a piece of the puzzle with its own color. The work deadline? That goes in one corner. Label it yellow. Something actionable. You can start on it soon. The disagreement with your friend? That's orange. Emotional, yes, but something you can resolve later with a thoughtful message or call. And your financial stress? That's red. You can't solve it right this second, so put it aside for your budget review time. It's real, but it's not urgent now. Suddenly, your brain isn't spinning in circles anymore. You've given form to the chaos. No more mental traffic jam. You won't solve everything instantly, but you'll feel the weight begin to lift. And here's the beauty of it. A calm mind doesn't just feel better, it sees better. It opens up new pathways you couldn't access when your thoughts were colliding with each other. And that is the state where manifestation begins. Because you can't attract abundance or peace from a mind that's cluttered and frantic, but with clarity, with intention, you begin to move in the direction of what you truly desire. Maybe it's time to stop white-knuckling your way through life, to stop trying to control everything, and instead, start trusting in the quiet strength that already lives inside you. Do things with calm now. Let's talk about how you move through your day. Have you ever noticed that rushing, while it feels productive in the moment, usually leads to things falling apart faster? It's like cooking in a pan that's too hot and has no oil. Everything burns. Nothing turns out right. And the result? A mess you didn't intend. Let me be honest with you. Calmness doesn't mean slowness. It means strategy. It's not about dragging your feet. It's about flowing at the right pace. The pace that allows things to come together smoothly, intentionally. You've invited close friends over for a special dinner. Everything is planned. You've imagined the flavors, the timing, the mood, but you get home late. You're already behind. So you rush. You chop vegetables with shaky hands. You spill the sauce. The pasta goes mushy because you forgot to check the timer, distracted by the chaos around you. And when you finally serve the dish, it's nothing like what you envisioned. Frustrating, right? Now imagine the opposite. You give yourself time. You chop the ingredients with care. You breathe. You taste the sauce as it simmers. The kitchen smells warm. The mood is peaceful, and you're present. And the food, it comes out just right. Not because you were perfect, but because you were calm. That's what life is like. When you rush, you burn things. When you move with intention, you create experiences worth remembering. Just like a mindful cook adjusts the flavors and gets the timing right, the pasta turns out al dente, not overdone, not undercooked, just right. But here's the thing, it's not just the food that's better, the experience becomes more enjoyable too. And do you think that's a coincidence? It's not. Rushing doesn't just ruin recipes, it ruins moments. It sabotages opportunities. And more often than not, we rush because we're watching others, comparing, competing, as if life is some kind of race we're losing. But here's the truth, my friend. Everyone has their own rhythm. Comparing your pace to someone else's is like trying to force a plant to grow faster by yelling at it. It doesn't work. Growth, real growth, takes time. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor of Rome, carried the weight of an entire empire on his shoulders. Yet even under immense pressure, he didn't rush blindly through his decisions. He reflected. He prioritized. He acted, not in haste, but with calm precision. He wrote, "The mind is like water. When it is calm, it reflects everything clearly." Even in the middle of war, political chaos, and personal loss, he returned to that stillness. He didn't focus on doing everything. He focused on doing what mattered and doing it well. Now I get it. Slowing down is hard. When the world seems to be moving at 100 miles per hour, stopping for a breath can feel like falling behind. But what if I told you that those small pauses are the very thing that helps everything start falling into place? Try this. Before you start any task, anything at all, take just 2 minutes. 2 simple minutes. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, what is the single most important thing I can do right now? Visualize your next step. Mentally organize your thoughts like you're tidying up your desk before starting your work. It's a small ritual, but it can reset your entire mindset. Because from a relaxed state, you don't just move, you flow. And here's another truth no one tells you. Multitasking is a myth. Yes, I know it feels productive. Juggling 5 things at once makes us think we're getting ahead. But in reality, you're doing 5 things poorly. So what should you do instead? Pick one thing, just one, and give it your full, focused attention. It's like planting a seed. If you water it, nurture it, protect it, it grows. If you rush from one plant to another, sprinkling a little here, a little there, nothing thrives. Finish that one task, then move to the next. You won't just do more, you'll do it better. Because here's what calmness does. It creates the space for your intentions to take root. It's the fertile ground where real transformation grows. Ralph Waldo Emerson once wrote, "Adopt the pace of nature. Her secret is patience." He couldn't have said it better. Calmness doesn't mean doing less. It means doing things with care, with presence, with clarity. Now imagine this. What would your life look like if instead of racing the clock, you chose to move intentionally, to savor each step no matter how busy you are? Think about it. You'd feel more grounded, more at peace, more in control, not of the world, but of yourself. And when you do things calmly, you make space for what truly matters to begin taking shape. Be grateful for what you have. Let me leave you with a powerful image. Imagine someone hands you a box and says, inside this is everything you're missing in life, everything you think you need to feel fulfilled. Naturally, you're excited. You open it, expecting something life-changing. But inside is a mirror. At first, you're confused. A mirror? What is this supposed to mean? And then it clicks. You don't need something new to feel complete. You need to see what you already have with new eyes. So often, we're caught in the chase. The next milestone, the next achievement, the next big thing. But we forget to look around at the blessings, opportunities, and even challenges that are shaping us right now. Gratitude isn't just about feeling good. It's a lens, one that reveals abundance where you once saw only lack. And here's the secret. When you start truly appreciating what you already have, you naturally attract more of what aligns with your heart, because a grateful mind is a powerful magnet for everything you've been seeking. And when you truly start practicing gratitude, everything shifts. Life begins to feel lighter. Stress starts to melt away. And almost like magic, you begin to attract more good things. Not because your life drastically changes overnight, but because you do. Your perspective changes. And speaking of seeing things differently, let me tell you a story that illustrates this beautifully. There was once a farmer, much like many of us, who couldn't stop focusing on everything he thought was missing in his life. Every single day he grumbled about how small, noisy, and uncomfortable his home was. "There's no space. I can't think. I can't rest. Why does life have to be like this? He was certain that happiness lay just beyond his reach, waiting inside a bigger, quieter, more beautiful home. Desperate for relief, he went to the village wise man and poured out his complaints. The wise man listened carefully and then offered a strange piece of advice. He said, "Bring your chickens into the house." The farmer blinked in disbelief. "What?" But eager for any solution, he obeyed. The next day he returned, even more frustrated. "It's worse. There's no room to breathe. The chickens are clucking everywhere. I'm going crazy." The wise man nodded calmly and said, "Good. Now bring your pig inside too." "What?" But again the farmer followed his instructions. By the third day he came back furious, completely overwhelmed. "This is unbearable. There's no space. There's noise. There's mess. This is a disaster." The wise man smiled and replied, "Now, take the chickens and the pig out." And so the farmer did. When he returned home and opened the door, something remarkable happened. The same little house that had once felt like a prison now felt spacious, quiet, and peaceful. The size of the house hadn't changed, but his perspective had. For the first time, he appreciated the calm. He saw the space he did have. He found comfort where before he saw only lack. That, my friend, is the real power of gratitude. It doesn't always change your circumstances, but it completely transforms how you see them. And when your perception shifts, the world opens up. Suddenly, you start noticing solutions, opportunities, beauty, all the things that were hidden behind your complaints. The magic of gratitude isn't just about improving your mood. It's like activating a hidden spell in your life. According to psychologist Robert Emmons, one of the world's leading experts on gratitude, being thankful literally reprograms your brain. It helps you see opportunities where you once saw only problems. It clears the fog and aligns your focus with what truly matters. And the best part? You don't need a lucky charm. You don't need some fancy manifestation tool. Gratitude is the magic wand you've already been holding. And of course, the Stoics knew this long before modern science confirmed it. Seneca once wrote, "Nothing is more honorable than a grateful heart." To the Stoics, gratitude was a daily discipline, not just a feeling you stumbled into. They gave thanks for the little things: a warm meal, a sunrise, a meaningful conversation with a friend. They knew when you train your eyes to see the good, you stop wasting energy on everything you think you're lacking. And that shift in focus, it creates space for more good things to enter your life. So, how can you begin practicing gratitude in a real, meaningful way? Let's skip the tired advice of just write 3 things down every day. Instead, try this. Once a week, set aside a quiet moment just for yourself. Sit down with a pen and paper. No distractions, no pressure. Write down 3 things you are truly grateful for. Now here's the important part. Don't just stop at naming them. Ask yourself, how has this contributed to the life I want to create? Maybe your best friend's encouragement gave you strength to keep going. Maybe a recent setback reminded you of what really matters. Maybe your morning coffee and a moment of silence helped you start your day with clarity. Reflecting on this not only helps you feel more relaxed, it aligns your mind with your intentions. The more you focus on the good that's already in your life, the easier it becomes to attract what you truly desire. It's as if every single moment of gratitude becomes a stepping stone. building the bridge toward your goals, one quiet, powerful moment at a time. Before we move on, let me ask you something simple, but powerful. What are you grateful for today? Really, pause for a moment and think. What has touched your life in even the smallest way? Drop it in the comments below. This one small act isn't just a gesture. It could be your very first step toward manifesting what you truly desire. Because every time you express gratitude, you're telling the universe, I see the good. I appreciate it. I'm ready for more. Disconnect from the noise. Now let's talk about something that's quietly robbing us all, the noise. Imagine trying to listen to your favorite song, one that moves your soul, in the middle of a street filled with honking cars, blaring sirens, and people shouting on every corner. No matter how beautiful the music is, it's drowned out by the chaos around you. And that's exactly how we live today. Every ping, every notification, every headline. It's like being in that noisy street, day after day, hour after hour. It's no wonder we can't focus. It's no wonder we feel drained. Our minds are overloaded. Let me ask you this. How can you ever hope to discover what you truly want if your mind is constantly buried in noise? If you don't learn to silence the distractions, if you don't intentionally create space for clarity, you'll never hear the deeper voice inside you, the one that whispers your dreams, the one that knows your truth. Look around. How much of your day is spent watching what others are doing, scrolling endlessly through filtered lives on social media, reading news that feels urgent but is quickly forgotten, responding to messages that really could have waited? All that digital noise, it doesn't just steal your time, it steals your attention. And more dangerously, it fills your mind with clutter that has nothing to do with the life you actually want. Think of every notification, every comparison, as a thin layer of dust settling on a window. The more you engage with them, the harder it is to see through. But when you pause, when you disconnect, it's like wiping that window clean. Suddenly, you can see through to the other side. Your own ideas, your hidden desires, the opportunities that were there all along, but buried under noise. Epictetus said it best. The free man is the one who is not afraid to go to the end of his thoughts. But to get to the end of your thoughts, you need one thing: silence. You can't reflect on your deepest desires when your mind is trapped in a never-ending scroll of distractions. Silence is the garden where your thoughts can take root, where clarity blossoms, where your intentions quietly evolve into action and eventually into results. Let me ask you, be honest. How often do you feel like your mind is so full you can't even think straight? Like there's just no space left? You're not alone, but you are in control of what you allow in. Because all that noise, it's not just tiring, it's pulling you further away from the peace, the power, and the path you're meant to follow. So, are you ready to try something that few people dare to do? Let's shut off the noise, not forever, just long enough to breathe. And I'll be honest, at first it's uncomfortable. You might feel a little lost. You might reach for your phone out of habit. But I promise you, if you stick with it, even for a day, you'll feel the difference. Try this, a no notification day. Now don't worry, I'm not asking you to throw your phone in the ocean. Just make a small change. Set 2 times during the day to check your notifications. For example, once at 9 a.m. and once again at 6 p.m. That's it. Outside those times, let them wait. When I tried this myself, the change was almost instant. I had hours of focused time for my goals. I felt more grounded in my rituals. And most importantly, I was present in my own life. Try this too. Get back to nature. No, it doesn't have to be a weekend hike through the mountains. Just step outside anywhere. A quiet park, your backyard, even a balcony. Give yourself 10 minutes. No phone, no music. Just listen. Let the wind speak to you. Hear the birds. Notice the crunch of leaves underfoot or the rhythm of your breath. What you'll start to feel is something we've almost forgotten, the natural rhythm of life. Because nature moves slowly, intentionally, without rushing. And in that stillness, it reminds you of your own rhythm too. That authentic rhythm, the one that's always been within you, starts to return the moment you turn off the noise. It's like this. Imagine being a firefighter arriving at a blazing scene. The first step isn't searching for answers, it's putting out the fire, the chaos, the heat, the distractions. Only once the flames are extinguished, only when the smoke clears, can you finally see what lies beneath. And that's what silence does. It puts out the wildfire of overstimulation. In that calm, something incredible happens. Your mind becomes fertile soil, and from that stillness, your ideas can finally bloom. Your desires take shape, and step by step, you begin manifesting what's real without noise pulling you off course. Get a good night's rest. Let's switch gears and talk about something most people completely underestimate: rest. Let me ask you, have you ever tried using your phone when it's down to 10% battery? Everything slows down. Apps lag. Notifications won't load. Eventually, it just shuts off. Now here's the question that hits hard. How often do you live like that? Running on fumes, forcing yourself to push through, even when your body and mind are clearly begging for a break. You wouldn't expect your phone to work properly at 10%. So why do you expect yourself to? Now imagine this. What would your days feel like if you started every morning at 100%? Think about the difference. More clarity, more focus, more creativity, more joy. But I know what you might be thinking. I don't have time to rest. There's too much to do. Let me flip that belief upside down, because here's a truth no one talks about. Rest isn't a waste of time. It's an investment. It's one of the most productive things you can do. Why? Because it's in rest, not effort, where your mind and body prepare to perform at their best. And rest isn't just collapsing into bed out of sheer exhaustion. It's not about passing out with your phone still in hand and your mind racing. It's about creating a space, a sanctuary, where your body can recharge and your mind can reset. Think of it like maintaining a car. If you never change the oil, check the engine, or rotate the tires, sure, it might still run for a while, but eventually it will break down. And just like that car, your mind and body need nightly maintenance. When you sleep well, something powerful happens. You don't just wake up feeling rested, you wake up reset, more focused, more grounded, more aligned with what truly matters. And this isn't just poetic, it's scientific. At night, while you sleep, your brain actually enters a deep cleaning mode. Seriously, a real internal cleaning crew goes to work. Researchers at the Center for Neuroscience at the University of Rochester discovered that during deep sleep, the brain clears away toxins that build up throughout the day. It's like sweeping away mental clutter, stress, and emotional residue. making space for a fresh start the next morning. So yes, sleeping well isn't just about feeling good. It directly affects your ability to focus, create, and manifest the life you want. Because when your mind is clean, clear, and energized, everything flows more easily. And you show up as your best self. Even Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, understood this. With the weight of an entire empire on his shoulders, he still believed rest was essential. He wrote, "Even the soul needs rest to be effective." At the end of each day, he would reflect. He would step back from the chaos of leadership, not to indulge in laziness, but to reconnect. For Marcus, rest wasn't a luxury, it was a strategy. So let me ask, if an emperor could find time to rest, why can't you? Now I hear you. You're busy, you've got work, family, a million things demanding your time. But don't worry, I'm not here to overhaul your life overnight. Let's start simple. Here's a nighttime ritual you can try today. Power down the screens. Turn off all screens, yes, even your phone, at least 30 minutes before bed. No last-minute emails, no TikTok scrolls, no news updates. Instead, grab a book, something light, something soothing, a story that helps your mind wind down, not ramp up. Give your brain a break from the blue light and the noise. Let it breathe. Let it settle. Choose something that won't overstimulate your mind. A light novel, an inspiring book, or even a few pages of something that makes you reflect gently. Let it ease you into the night. Set your intention. Before your head hits the pillow, take a moment to write down one or two intentions for the next day in a notebook. Nothing overwhelming, just clear, calm direction. For example, tomorrow I'll dedicate one uninterrupted hour to that project I care about. Or I'll truly listen in every conversation. This simple habit doesn't just relax your mind, it gives it a purpose. You're not just drifting off, you're aligning with what matters. Breathe as you settle under the covers. Spend just 5 minutes breathing deeply. No fancy techniques, just a slow inhale, hold, and an even slower exhale. Let the breath wash away the stress. Let it soften the tightness in your chest. Let your body know we're safe now. We can rest. And the next time you catch yourself thinking of sleep as just another necessity, remind yourself of this. Even the brightest stars need the darkness to shine, and you are no exception. Embrace your failures. Now, my friend, let's talk about something you might not want to hear, but absolutely need to hear. Failure is inevitable. Yes, I said it. But here's the good news. It's not the end. In fact, it's the beginning of something much more powerful. Think of failure like the first strokes on a blank canvas. At first, they look messy, disjointed, maybe even meaningless. But keep going, add a few more strokes, and suddenly, the picture begins to form. You start to see the shape of something real. Did you know that some of the most useful inventions in history started as total mistakes? Let me tell you one of my favorite stories about something you probably use almost every day. In the 1970s, a scientist named Spencer Silver was working at 3M. His task? Create a super strong adhesive. But what he created was, well, the opposite. A weak, barely sticky substance that didn't do what it was supposed to. It was shelved, forgotten, considered a failure. Until years later, another employee, Art Fry, had a thought. What if this weak adhesive could actually be useful in its own way? He tested it to mark pages in his hymn book, something that stuck but didn't damage the paper. And just like that, the Post-it note was born. An invention we now see as indispensable was originally the result of a failed experiment. So what's the point? It's not about avoiding failure. It's about how you face it. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Mistakes don't define you, but how you respond to them, that's what shapes your path. Sometimes failure feels like a brick wall, but if you look closer, it's not a wall, it's a door. And the key? Compassion. Step one, ease up on yourself. We chase perfection so hard that we become terrified to take a wrong step. But ask yourself, how many dreams have you abandoned because you were afraid to mess up? Failure isn't a full stop. It's a rehearsal. It doesn't have to be perfect the first time, or the second, or even the fifth. Each try is progress. Each mistake is data. Each moment is a lesson dressed in disguise. Step two, use your failures like steps on a staircase. Did something go wrong? Great. Ask yourself, what can I learn? What can I adjust next time? Every single failure can lift you higher. If you let it, you grow stronger, more strategic, more grounded, and soon you're standing on top of lessons that once knocked you down. Step three, stay rooted in the present. Too often we wear our past mistakes like chains. We replay them, relive them, and let them define us. But here's the truth. Your past does not decide your future. You have new tools, new awareness, a new moment, this one, to make a new decision. You've got new tools now, new knowledge, and most importantly, a new opportunity right in front of you. So ask yourself, what can I do today to prove to myself that I've grown? Because every new attempt, no matter how small, is part of building something better. Do you see it now? The pieces start to fit together the moment you shift how you view your failures. It's not about erasing the past. It's about using it strategically, powerfully, intentionally. And something interesting happens when you do this. You relax. The pressure to be perfect loosens its grip. You no longer feel like you're being chased by your mistakes. And in that relaxed state, guess what? Life flows. The path that once seemed blocked begins to open, not because the world changed, but because you did. The more you embrace the lessons in your failures, the more you invite clarity, and with clarity comes alignment. And alignment? That's the space where your truest desires begin to manifest. Because failure isn't your finish line. It's the spark that lights your next beginning. So let me ask you, what masterpiece could you create if you stopped fearing those first strokes? Let every mistake be a brushstroke, each one a part of the bigger picture, the complete, vivid, powerful life you were meant to create. Imagine it and make it real now. Let's take it one step further. Close your eyes for a moment. You're sitting in a quiet movie theater. The lights dim. The projector clicks on. And suddenly, there you are, on the screen. But this isn't just a movie. It's your life, exactly as you've always dreamed it. You see yourself thriving. You've achieved your goals. You're surrounded by people who uplift and inspire you. You're living each day with energy, joy, purpose. It feels so real because it could be. Now here's the question that changes everything. If you were the director of this story, what would you choose to create next? You see, visualization isn't just a feel-good exercise, it's a tool, a blueprint. When you vividly imagine the life you want, you're not just daydreaming, you're training your mind to make it happen. It's like writing the script before the cameras even roll. Because everything you want to build out in the world must first be built within you. If you don't know where you're going, how can you expect to arrive? As Seneca wisely said, no wind is favorable to the sailor who doesn't know where he's going. Direction, vision, intention. You need all three. But here's the real magic. It's not enough to just see your future. You have to feel it, deep in your body, as if it's already happening. When you do that, your whole system starts to align. Your energy shifts. Your choices change. You begin moving differently, talking differently, living differently. And science backs this up. Dr. Joe Dispenza, a renowned psychologist and author, explains, when you visualize something in full emotional and sensory detail, your brain begins to interpret it as real. Your neurons fire. Your body responds. Your internal compass starts pointing toward your goal, like a tuning fork that starts resonating with your dreams. And suddenly, life begins to match the energy you're putting out. The right people show up. Unexpected opportunities open. Decisions feel clearer. Everything starts to click because you're not just reacting anymore. You're directing. So how do you turn this into a daily practice? Simple. Start with 5 minutes a day. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and step inside your vision. Not as a distant observer, but as if you're already living it. For example, if your goal is to write a book, visualize yourself at your desk. Feel the pen in your hand or your fingers on the keyboard. See the pages filling with your ideas. Picture the cover, your name on it, and the moment you hold it for the first time. Hear the applause at your book launch. Imagine a reader thanking you for changing their life. Live it in your mind, fully, vividly, unapologetically. Now pause for a moment and really feel it. You're at your desk, typing the final page of your book. The words flow effortlessly because they've been waiting inside you all along. You hit save, close the document, and reach for the finished copy beside you. Your name is on the cover. You run your fingers over the title. You hold it in your hands. You smile. How does it feel? What emotions rise to the surface when you finally bring your dreams to life? Not someday, but right now in your mind. That's the power of imagination fused with intention. When you vividly rehearse success, your brain starts treating it as real. It activates the systems that guide your behavior, sharpen your focus, and move you toward the life you're designing. Next step, write your goals as if they've already happened. Not I want to, but I am. I have. I create. For example, instead of writing, I want to own my own business, write, I run a successful business doing what I love, impacting people's lives every day. Fill it with details. What does your daily routine look like? How do you feel when you start your day? What kind of people are you helping? What's the impact you're making? The more vivid your vision, the clearer your direction. And here's one more thing. Make this process peaceful. Don't treat visualization like another task to check off your to-do list. Instead, see it as a moment of sacred alignment, an invitation to dream without apology. Put on soft music, find a quiet space, sit with yourself, breathe deeply, and let yourself go there. Because my friend, dreaming is not wasting time. It's how you program your mind to build what you desire. Everything begins in the mind. When you imagine with clarity, you're not just escaping, you're leading. You're creating a map to your future. And the more you connect to that inner compass, the more your actions start aligning with it. So what are you waiting for? Start visualizing, start believing, and start shaping the life you've always wanted. starting today. And just in case no one has told you lately, your best is yet to come. This final point isn't just a closing message, it's a turning point. It might be the exact push you need to tie everything together and transform your life from the inside out. Are you ready? Let's unlock the final truth. Trust in what's coming. Picture this. You have a small garden. You prepare the soil, plant carrot seeds, and begin watering them every single day. You tend to them with care. You wait with anticipation. In the first week, you check the soil with hope, looking for that first green sprout, but there's nothing. Am I doing something wrong? You wonder. You lean in. You check the dirt. Still no sign of life. A second week passes. Still nothing. Frustration begins to creep in. You start to doubt. Are the seeds defective? Am I watering too much? Not enough? But here's what you can't see. Beneath the surface, the roots are working hard. They're stretching, anchoring, building the strength needed to one day push through the soil. And from above, it might still look like nothing is happening. But it is. Everything is happening. And when that first green sprout finally emerges, it all makes sense. All the patience, all the silent progress, all the unseen work, because carrots don't rush. But once they arrive, they are steady, strong, and exactly as you imagined. That's how manifestation works too. Even when it feels like your intentions aren't making an impact, even when progress feels invisible, even when you feel like giving up, something is shifting. Your mindset, your habits, your energy. They're working quietly, patiently, laying down the path beneath your feet. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not happening. So here's what I want you to remember. Don't abandon the garden just because it hasn't bloomed yet. Keep showing up. Keep watering. Keep trusting. Because what you've planted, the life you're building, will grow. Not overnight, but in perfect timing. Trust in what's coming. Because everything you've done, every step you've taken, is guiding you towards something more powerful than you can even imagine right now. And it's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. So water the dream, nurture the vision, and trust the roots. Your breakthrough is on its way. And when it arrives, you'll realize it was always growing, even when you couldn't see it. And when you least expect it, that's when the results arrive. Let's be honest. No one likes to wait. But what if I told you that patience isn't about sitting around doing nothing? It's about believing. Believing that while you're doing your part, the universe is quietly doing its part too. As Marcus Aurelius once said, nature doesn't rush, yet everything is accomplished. Think about a river. It twists, it turns, it flows over rocks, through narrow bends, around obstacles. But it never stops, and somehow it always finds its way to the ocean. Now imagine this. You've reached a breaking point. You've made the bold choice to change your life completely. You quit your office job. You sell everything you don't need. You set out to travel the world, to chase freedom, purpose, adventure. Sounds incredible, right? But then, reality hits. The first few weeks are a mess. Your savings drain faster than expected. The jobs you thought would be easy to find aren't there. And you start questioning everything. Did I make a huge mistake? What if this doesn't work out? You feel the panic, and your instinct is to grab control, tighten your grip, push harder, obsess over finding the perfect solution. But then you pause. You remember something important. Trust in what's coming. You breathe. You stop trying to force everything. You go back to the basics. You write down your intentions. You visualize your path. You let go, just a little. And you begin to move forward with calm. And then, something unexpected happens. In a casual conversation, someone mentions a work exchange program, a place where you can stay with hosts while traveling, and just like that, you find your path. This is exactly what I needed, you say, heart racing with gratitude. But do you see what really happened? You didn't stumble on it by chance. You aligned with it the moment you let go and trusted. Here's the truth. Trust doesn't mean sitting still. It means acting with faith, not fear. You keep showing up. You keep doing your part. But you also leave space for life to meet you halfway. And when doubt creeps in, and yes, it will, repeat this simple phrase, I'm doing my part. The rest will come in its time. Write it down. Put it somewhere you'll see it every day. Let it anchor you when things feel uncertain. Because this process, you're not walking it alone. Never forget this. While you're planting the seed, life is already working to make it grow. And when the moment is right, when the timing aligns, you'll be surprised by the fruits that show up, the ones you never even imagined. So I invite you now to reflect on everything we've explored today. Every pause, every breath, every act of letting go, every moment of clarity and calm, every spark of trust. Let each one bring you closer to what you truly desire. Because here's the real secret. Every step you take, no matter how small, is not empty. It has purpose. In that stillness, in that calm, in that sacred trust, there is no emptiness, only possibility. That's where your dreams are born. That's where they begin to take shape. And that's how they become real. If you've made it this far, drop a comment below and write, I relax and attract what I desire. That way, I'll know you're one of the true Stoic warriors who stayed until the end, who didn't just listen, but lived the message. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Tap the notification bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Give this video a like if it moved you. It helps more people find it. And if you're ready to go deeper, check out the playlist on your screen. It's full of ideas, stories, and ancient wisdom to help you navigate life with clarity, courage, and confidence. Click it, and let's keep moving forward together. Until next time, take care, stay calm, and always trust in what's coming. You've got this, Stoic warrior.